So once more, under setup, I've got my texture region size set to 32 by 32. And over here in the tile set, I've set the tile to 32 by 32. So my region and my tiles are the same size. I have under terrain, a new terrain, which I'm calling blue with the color pink, just to confuse everybody. And now when I click on this, you can now see these things properly. So this right-hand one, that's why I was duplicating stuff, is wrong. So set those to -1, and you should be 0. Okay, and now it starts to make a bit more sense. But it's a lot of clicking, and it keeps removing stuff as I need it, which is my favorite. So you.
Yes, I can see. I can see now what you've been describing to me all week. That a lot of this is very, very manually intensive. When it appears to have a solution to it, right? Why not draw these in with the mouse? Would be what.
Right, and like the people who designed this system did an amazing job in terms of what it can do, right? It's really flexible. The user experience was probably not their immediate concern. I mean, I don't know, I've not spoken to them, but I'm at a situation where I want to do a tile map course as part of Godot for everyone. I just don't know how useful this part of the video is, right? Because I'm talking while doing other stuff and his cat's singing to me. But I have a lot of tiles to do.
And it's not just that. From what we've been chatting with in the background, we very quickly end up in a position where if you have this tile set and you reproduce another image, so using think you could just import this terrain over to the new graphic that you're using, can
Right.
you?
Well, almost, kind of ish.
Almost.
So
You see
if
that's
I
one
was
of the
to duplicate
problems.
this, right, and then I would go into this tile set and I would go to setup and I'd change the texture. My problem is this tile set is a resource. So by changing this, I change both of them. So you would have to make a new tile set. But if you make a new tile set, you lose all your changes.
So effectively, you have to do the thing again.
Effectively, you have to do the thing again.
Uh,
You're going to have to wait a while, buddy. I'm working. I know. Very, very sad meow. Okay, those three. So this is not the most fascinating thing in the world, right? But we do kind of need to do it because if we try and use a tile map without it, right? So let's go to the tile map. So
uh,
I've clicked on tile set and I've
Didrik
clicked on
here says
terrain.
this could really benefit from a bit mask painter tool like in Godot 3.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is a bit mask. Why is my terrain not showing? You are a terrain. I've added you. Hang on. Tile set, terrain, paint. No, that's the okay. This is the paint and visual thing. Tile map. There it is. Now it shows. Why? Who knows? Now we haven't added enough of these pieces, right? And
I don't know. It seems to be somewhat
it's
functional.
doing something, but it's very confused. I haven't
Yeah,
set these up correctly,
not
so
got enough information yet.
it's not enough information. But when I
We
do a big room like that, it does show, right?
we
And it's
think
like,
that's probably the case as well. Maybe painting. This will be implemented in one of Godot's next releases, or
probably,
someone's going to come along and write a plugin.
almost certainly. There are other considerations, um, not least of which this isn't how polygons work. So if we want to add physics and navigation, well, in fact, I'll show you, right? Let's say we want collision. So I'm going to add a collision layer. Great. Let's go to this one, and we're going to add its physics.
Oh, this is fun. /s. This is this is not fun at all. There's no snapping to pixels involved or anything, is there?
No. Now, there is a snap button. I can snap to half pixel. Why half pixel? I don't know. Doesn't seem to do anything. You might think, well, I'll do this to change the pixel size like you do. No, you don't. So you have to do these manually.
And of course, some of
Once
them are
they're in,
just
they work great.
rotations of other pieces, right? So it's a shame you
But it
can't.
doesn't know that. Because I drew this image. There's no reason for them to be in this order. It's
No,
just the order
what I
I've done.
mean is they are rotations of it. So why can't you copy and paste your physics layer and then have a button that says rotate?
Because we don't have that functionality.
Yeah.
Now, you might not need it this precise, in which case this is fine. But frankly, like, I can't resize this window. I can do that, but that's not great. Like, this is not a wonderful experience. And then if you want to do navigation, it's the exact same thing. It works. And by the time you get these results, they're pretty good. Now, I can go through and do every single one of these, right? I can go through and say, let's take this terrain set it to 0, terrain 0, because of course the terrain set can have multiple terrains in it. And I can
Yeah.
say, okay, so you can have a thing on the right, you can have a thing on the bottom, and you're almost certainly going to miss something.
Yeah,
Right?
it's
There's
going to be
going to be
very
mistakes.
easy to make a mistake.
Um, I'm just wondering if it's worth skipping this or doing the full thing. What do you guys think? Like, do you want me to stop and then show you the final result on a different
It's
build, or do you want me to go through the whole thing? I'm happy either way. Um, as I used to tell my undergrads, I'm paid either way. I don't care.
I mean, one of the issues is we don't know whether it's on the radar at the moment to be fixed at all. It might be
Oh, it's on
something
the
that.
radar to be fixed. We have no idea when or how. Like,
Oh,
a lot
brilliant!
of people I know who teach Godot are like, I'm going to wait on this, and I can see why. I would wait on this, except I'm already getting questions from students. How do I use this? So it's telling me I shouldn't wait. So any preferences? Do you guys want to see the whole thing set up as we talk, or should we just skip to a use case?
We've got another question just here. So you can use this map for multiple terrains then?
Yes, yes, you
So you
can.
only have to set it up once.
Yes. Um, and so let's go to my setup. Okay, so you can give each one an ID, and we'll call this blueprint. Um, and you can do all this. And then in here, in the terrains, as you set up your terrains, you could say, okay, now get me to terrain number 2, and that's going to terrains in terrain set 2, go to terrain 1 or whatever it is. I need to play a little bit with exactly how you set that up, but you can have multiple atlases and just change the thing. So you can do multiple terrains like that. This cat will not stop meowing. Excuse me one moment. He wants his dessert water.
Dessert water. I love it. The dessert water, I believe, is the tap in the bath, and the standard dinner water is the tap in the sink. But there we go.
All right.
Have I
So
got
we get
this
you
right,
the
Jan? The dessert water is the tap from the bath.
whichever one he's drinking right now is not dessert water. That's the important part. Do we have any preferences for seeing the whole thing set up or moving on?
Moving on is
Moving on.
yeah. We've
Okay.
already got 3 people saying yep. Skipping that is absolutely
Right.
fine.
Like it's tedious, right? It's not that it's difficult, it's just that it's really tedious. Okay, so let me open another instance of Godot 4. Look at me still talking when there's science to do.
I've made sure they can see both of our lovely faces in the interim. Yes,
You are.
it is. It's really frustrating that such a powerful system is hamstrung by its
Well, no,
interface.
it makes sense because the people designing the powerful system are getting the features in.
Yes, very much
But
so.
people who write good systems are not necessarily either focused on or experienced with good UX. Like it's a completely different skill set.